Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going through a quick, well, it may not be quick, who knows, walkthrough of MEDIBANG Paint on the Android device. I've never used it on an iPad or anything like that. I don't own any Apple devices. I just can't afford it. So I can only really say from an Android user standpoint, but at the same time, you know, there should be pretty similar. Okay, so I'm just going to walk through the basic, tools and stuff that you're going to be using a lot. I'll start going down the left side of the screen, and then we'll go across the top and kind of go over some of that stuff, and as well as some features that are kind of hidden and you cannot really, know that they're there unless you do some research. And I'm gonna, I had to do some of my own research to figure this out. But starting off on the left side, you have your main menu, which you have save as, export, your settings, which takes you into a whole bunch of stuff where you can, turn on and off these options. Like if you're going to be doing pixel art, you want to turn off anti-aliasing so it doesn't smooth the edges of each pixel. If you have a stylus that, supports it, you can use pen pressure. Like if you're on a Samsung tablet with like an S Pen or something. Or also there are some styluses you can buy that do support pen pressure. And MEDIBANG is one that does work with, I think one's a Sonar pen that's on my wish list. MEDIBANG is compatible with that. Auto recovery. So every 15 minutes it's going to auto save your stuff. You can go in and change that for every 5 minutes, like if you want it done more often. You can enable shortcuts on the main screen, so you can rotate the canvas using 2 fingers instead of having to push a button. A long press eyedropper, display your grid, display the pixel grid. You can do all kinds of stuff, and then you can display your shortcuts that you want to see on the main screen as well in the settings. And then as you can see here, it says start using Sonar pen and calibrate your Sonar pen. So MEDIBANG has a very good compatibility with that pen, and I think they're like $35 on Amazon. Pretty affordable. I have one on my wish list and I want to get one here soon, and I will be doing a review on it when I get it. I currently have a stylus from Walmart that's like a $20 smart something, I think is what it was called, like a smart stylus, I don't know, but it has its issues and stuff. It's a one that you just turn on and start using on the screen, but at the same time I want the added pressure sensitivities and stuff like that. The Sonar pen is going to help out with because this pen does not do that. And then the next button down, we have this little square with the pencil in it. You got copy, cut, paste, rotate canvas left, right, flip it horizontally. You can go into your canvas settings to resize your canvas or resize your image, change the background color. And then if you're doing comic template settings, as well as crop. The one below that is your select kind of option. You can select all, deselect, inverse your selection, select a portion of your drawing. You zoom in, zoom out transform. You have free transform, which lets you make things look like they're kind of 3D, fading back into or coming at you. And then you have your mesh transform, which you can change. I know people use it to make textures and stuff look like they're matching up with the shapes that they're on, like for texture on jeans, stuff like that. And you can also create a boundary. And then the next one down from that is basically just rotate your canvas left or right, flip it horizontally, or reset your canvas. The next tool down is obviously your paint, your whichever brush you have active right now. Just clicking that will activate the brush, as well as snap the bar to the top. So if you want to hide that bar, you just hit that button again and it hides it. So you can have a really clean, workspace if you hide everything when you're not using it. The button below that is your brush selector, as well as your color palette selector. You can either select the color wheel or you can select different palettes. You can change, MEDIBANG has some preset palette skin tones, character shadow, all kinds of stuff. As well as, toggle between 2 different colors. You can hit the little add to add colors to your palette, or you can go transparent with it, or you can like delete colors and stuff out of the palette if you wish to as well. And then you can set your opacity of your brush as well as the size of it from here. And you can select whatever. You can create custom brushes. You can download them from the cloud. You have standard brushes as well as cloud brushes that you can download for free. All these are free. And let's see. You can get different ones and add them to here and stuff. You can delete pins and download pins and all kinds of fun stuff. And then the one we have below it is our layers. So that opens up your layers tab, and then you have, of course, the opacity at the top, your blending mode. This is where you have multiply, add, divide, all of that stuff. I've really not messed with much of that yet. And then you have effects. The only effects on here are watercolor edges or cloudy, which I have not done anything with. I just leave that on none. You can protect your alpha. You can select it as a draft layer. You can lock. And when you have multiple layers, you can also select clipping layers. The little plus sign, you can add a color layer, 1-bit, 8-bit folder. You can bring in an image to the canvas as its own layer. You can add an image by taking a picture. You can create a mask layer, stencil layer, and so on. So I'm just going to add a color layer, and then you can clip. So why are you not drawing anything? What brush do I have selected? Oh, that's because I had it on transparent. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sparkle brushes. And then say you have your clipping layer. You always have the clipping layer above the layer you want the color to be on. That's where the little arrow is pointing down. So let's say I change my color. And then it just keeps it inside those shapes. See, it won't let it go out of it. So that's pretty cool. And you can also convert this little 3 dots in the corner. Gives you your filter list. You have some filters that are pretty common. Gaussian blur, mosaic, line art, extraction. You can convert the layer to a different type, to an 8-bit color or 1-bit. You mainly use that when you're putting in text, because then you can convert the layer to a color layer, and you can do cool shadows and highlights and stuff like that on the text to make it look more 3D. You can get to the full filter list by clicking filter list. The only one I've really used in this one is the tone curve, which you can, play with the tones to make it lighter, darker. It's kind of neat. It works really well with like different pictures that you bring in. You want to give them a different look and stuff. It's pretty cool. And then we of course have our delete button, and you can move each layer up or down with these arrow keys. So if I can go down, or that moves it up or down, or you can hold and drag it up and down, which is what I do. Then you can click this little select button, and you can create a folder. So you can select multiple files and put them in a folder, like so. And then you can move selected ones into another existing folder, and so on. You can flip it vertically, flip it horizontally. That's doing an invisible layer. There we go. Horizontally. You can duplicate. So then you'll have 2 different ones. You can rasterize, which I don't fully know exactly what you would do with that. I think it just like locks everything together or something, and I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, that is the layers tab. And also, say you're trying to transform a layer and you want to rotate it. This is something that I had a lot of issues with. So select all. I'm going to zoom in, zoom out. So say you're on zoom in, zoom out, and you want to rotate, you hold on the outside of the square, and then you can flip it and rotate it and stuff like that. That's how you rotate in MEDIBANG. Like, because if you hit rotate down here, it's just going to rotate the whole canvas, you know? So it's like, how do you rotate the image itself? That's how. You have to go to zoom in, zoom out, and then hold outside of the selection, and then move it around. Okay, so beneath that we have this little cloud button. So you can add materials and stuff to this from, you know, your gallery, your your images. You can download it from the cloud. You can take a picture, you can refresh, and then delete items as well. It's good for bringing in like textures, stuff like that for certain things. Then you have your eyedropper tool, which I have it enabled to long press, so you can just hold it down and it'll long press the eyedropper. And then you have your redo and undo buttons. So that is the left side. And then going across the top, so you'll see this top menu as long as you have the brush, you know, whichever tool you have selected. This lets you change that tool. So you can go to eraser, hand, shape tool. This is just does an outline of a shape. Selector, you know, to move around things like so. But all it is let you move things. It doesn't let you do anything else. You can't rotate, nothing like that. So you'd have to go to the zoom in, zoom out. And then you can create shapes, full solid shapes. You have your paint bucket. You have a gradient tool, which you can do like the full canvas. You can do a part of it and whatnot, or you can do like a circle, make one part of it like that. All kinds of fun stuff. And then you have your selector. You can select a square, select a circle, create a custom shape, or you have like basically like your lasso tool right there, and you can either have it set to off, just select one area, you can add to it like so, or you can remove areas like so. You can round the corners. So if you're doing like a square, it would kind of round the corners. You have your magic wand tool, which will select, you know, if you have different shapes, you can definite shapes that have like line art that has closed gaps and everything. That magic wand makes it easier to select that. And you can expand it by a couple pixels, close gaps. You can select either your canvas or your layer. You also have a this tool with your rulers and fun stuff in it. I'm still trying to figure out this tool and how you move it around. Move. Oh, there we go. That's how you move it. You push the little 3 dots and you move it. Then you can save it in that location and whatnot. And then we have the erase. So it'll erase the lines and whatnot. So that's your ruler snap tool. Then you have excuse me. And then you can make selections. I'd never use the comic panels, but you can make your panel shapes and whatnot. This is just an arrow tool that does something, I'm sure. Then you have your text tool, which you can add text. Oh, I did try to write hello and it comes up with hemp. Okay. And if you have Google Keyboard, this is also helpful, especially if you're doing like programs where your keyboard tends to get in the way, if you select this little button, it'll make your keyboard to where you can move it. It's handy. Very handy. So then I can move it out of the way like so and, you know, hit set. And hello. And the only way you can change the size, if you go to this text size and change it like that. Oh. It got rid of the word. And it's set. So like that. Or you can go to your layers tab, convert. Why won't it let me? Well, anyway, usually you can convert that to a color layer, but it's blacked out for some reason. I don't know. Oh, maybe because I'm on the wrong tool. So if I go back to the brush tool, get out of the text tool. No, still not. Weird. Okay, I rasterize it. It's the color layer. Clipping, and then let's see, go this color. I need to change my brush to something else. Okay, we'll do that. And then we can color over that text like that. So you can use that to like add highlights. Oh, what did it do? I probably got rid of my, yep, it turned the clipping off on it. So you gotta watch that. If you hit undo too many times, it undoes you clipping that layer. So you can do cool little effects like that. So yeah, it's just cool. But anyway, that is a walkthrough of all these tools on here. Hopefully, you know, it helps anyone who's been having issues with this app. I know for me, you know, just the simple being able to rotate something, and that all that did was rotate the clipping layer. So yeah, let's see if it does it with this. There. Oh no, the clipping is still not rotated. So so in order to put those two together, you would have to group them in a folder. So you'd go down to this and go that and put in its own folder. Hit OK. And then you have the folder selected. You hit zoom in, zoom out, and then it moves everything all at once. Cool beans. So I guess it's a decently long video, about 20 minutes or so, or, you know, maybe a little less than 20 minutes. But if you have any other questions about MEDIBANG, just let me know. I do know the program pretty well and know how to do, you know, accomplish quite a bit of things in it. And I have some more tutorials and stuff I want to do later on of just like different things to use MEDIBANG for. Like, you know, you can do emotes, you can do Twitch graphics, you can do anything you can do with Photoshop, you can do with this program. It's like, and it's free. So, and you can always export to transparent PNG or JPEG. Always transport as a PNG. Just saying. You get a better quality than a JPEG, and you lose a lot of the pixel data when you go to JPEG. So just always export as a PNG. And then if you want to save things to the cloud, like I save things to the cloud all the time, you hit save as, and it'll give you either local or online. So local will save it to your device, online will save it to your cloud. You can name it whatever, and then it pops up to the cloud. So like I'm gonna exit that. So if I go to my gallery and I go to illustration, this little cloud, it gives me all the projects that I've done and saved on the cloud. And I'm not sure why these got saved to comic. That's just how it happened. And you can create folders and stuff like that. That's a paid option though. These two tabs, you have to pay for the whole app. but it's only like less than $7. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and you guys have a great day. If you like this video, give it a like. It really helps on my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Well, that's a like. Wow. I'm on one today. Subscribe for more tutorials, digital art. I'm also delving into the world of digital planners, so that's going to be interesting. I'm making some stuff with that. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.